When they signed the Declaration of Independence, it was only a Declaration of Independence if they won the war. You know what it was if they lost? It was a death certificate. You know what? But what have we heard? Give me liberty or give me death, right? They didn't want King George saying how life was going to be for them. And so they decided to sign a Declaration of Independence because it would be better to be dead than to live like that. And as long as you are putting your life into someone else's hands, nothing's going to change.
Spooky. That was a clip from exclusive audio we'd obtained of Travis Alexander giving a speech less than 1 month before Jody killed him. Back with me, psychologist Michelle Ward. She's the host of Stalked, Someone's Watching on Investigation Discovery. Yeah, Michelle, I mean, you must tell stories like this on your show, right? I mean, not the Travis story, but the Jody story. I
mean, there's a joke that this will be in their next season because it's so prototypical of a stalking situation. And in this, the other thing weird about this particular story, though, is that both of them, it's the special alchemy of the two of them together that I think that was so explosive. Don't you agree? Well, absolutely. I mean, he was a perfect victim, but she plays the perfect victim, too.
Right.
And this is, I want to tap into a little bit of your expertise. Yeah. You work with trauma survivors.
Yes.
I don't have that expertise. Do you think any of this that she's doing is indicative of past abuse? I mean, what are your take?
Well, I could build, if they put me as an expert witness up on the stand, I could build that case. I really could. I could make it. But the reality is the evidence is so flimsy that as just an individual watching this, I think, come on, you got to be kidding me. So I think it's my construct here is that, yes, she had some light abuse and stuff, but she had a lot of psychopathy, and she then became the perpetrator. And I think that's the bigger story here. Yeah. Now, that same day that Travis joked about being single, apparently, you can watch this from YouTube. Take a look.
When I first started training and things like that, you can imagine the first thing I would hear a lot of is, by the way, he's single. And I'd be like, that's right, I am. Maybe he's going to get me. That's been going on for 6 years.
Jacob Mefford was a friend of Travis's, and he was there that day. He actually knew Jody as well, and he joins us now. Jacob, what was going through your mind as you watched and listened to Travis that day?
Well, watching Travis, get started from nothing, literally having, 2 or 3 minimum wage jobs and coming from, the pit of hell that he had come from in the past, and watching him develop, I remember sitting there thinking, wow, he's really become something great. And I just remember thinking how polished he was and just his depth of his character and the substance of who he was as a person and just his talent to be able to deliver a message that can inspire a lot. I just remember thinking, man, well done.
And Jacob, really Michelle was asking me before we watched this about trauma survivors. You say the pit of hell. I've heard a lot of vague notions about where Travis came from. What do you mean when you say the pit of hell?
It's interesting. Jody's up there talking about her background, but Travis isn't here to talk about his, and his was 10 times worse than anything she could ever try to even make up. He was really the victim of being born into a broken family. His mom was a drug user aggressively. He was homeless with her at times. I remember he was telling me one of his memories was living underneath actual cover on a truck port in the backyard somewhere, and actually having visions of his mom literally going to the bathroom in a 5-gallon bucket. And so this is where he came from, to go through all of that, deal with those struggles, deal with that baggage, and to decide to make something of himself rather than use it as an excuse. So what I love is when he's speaking from that stage, he's not talking in theory like maybe a lot of politicians. He's speaking from somebody who has actually come from hell, dealt with it, said, you know what, that's my story, who cares, and then turned around and did something positive with it.
And then, Cheryl, can